Hey everybody, happy holidays. I am spending a little time up here in the vacation house, summer house here in Denmark, Scandinavia, and I brought this along with me. So this is the Fighter Buggy RX. It's the original and first assembly kit of the DT01 chassis. 5 years before this was in 1996. The Rookie Rabbit came in 1991 with the exact same parts, different color schemes and different decals. And 5 years later, I have absolutely no idea why they waited 5 years to make an assembly kit. Maybe because the Rookie Rabbit wasn't a big success. In the meantime, they actually brought out the Super Hornet on the old Hopper chassis, the Grasshopper 2 chassis. But in 1996, they started the DT01 assembly kit line. Well, I'm in my summer house and it's a nice warm day. Feels almost like summer and not spring. It's still April here. We got a little house, a wooden house up here in the forest, and yeah, with a little lawn and some woods, a little forest and trees and everything, and good weather right now, exactly. And I have been asked how I can do. I did a couple of runs in this area with the DT02 MS, just published on my main RC channel, Nordic RC Visions, and I had a couple of people ask how I could do these runs out here in the countryside where during the lockdown. Well, it's pretty much different here in Denmark, I think, compared to your part of the world if you're not from Denmark. But Denmark is actually experiencing a fall in the curve of COVID-19, so they're actually opening up a lot of society right now. Kindergartens, schools and everything is opened, and some areas of businesses. And they are actually also allowing sport activities for 10 people maximum in the outside. And well, I think even though they're not saying it, they're generally encouraging people to get outside and get the curve a bit up, because the hospitals can actually help right now and have some free resources to do that. So I thought it was safe to go out in the countryside here and do a couple of runs. So yeah, the place where I'm running is a remote place where there is absolutely 0 people. So nobody is watching me except from a couple of guys on YouTube when I'm uploading the videos. But that's it. I'm here and it's perfectly safe and in tune with the government's rules and laws and restrictions. But yeah, the Fighter Buggy RX. This one I got from Holly Hill RC. You can check out the link, if I remember to put it up in the corner here, to his channel. It's run by Derek, a splendid guy which I have been friends with for a couple of years now here on YouTube. And he helped me synth this. I have a video with the unboxing of everything and all the stuff that he sent along with it. And he helped me because some UK sellers on eBay just refuse to sell outside UK. Perhaps some UK people out there can explain me why, because it's just a very silly thing, I think. But yeah, he sent me this, and thank you for that, Derek, and thank you for your patience in the process. And I think it's time to get it out running. At least I will do a test here to see if the electronics is actually working. I didn't bring a lot of stuff here, some basic tools and some basic items, and to my sheer horror I also forgot. I did bring paint, but I also forgot some, what's it called, sandpaper. So I'm not able, I think, to do the driver right now. They have some lines that you need to sand off here before you can actually paint it. But overall it's in very good condition. I don't think it's hardly run. Maybe it's a pavement princess. A pavement princess is basically a buggy that you are running up and down in the street, where the chassis is never touching anything, but only the wheels get some wear and tear. So I won't be doing a full restoration because I think they just want to run it this season. It's unpainted, as you can see. So this is a bare plastic, and the decals, all the original decals are there, placed on the bare plastic, and I won't be changing that. But a basic restoration to get it up running. So I got the body off, and to my surprise I actually in the last shot forgot to turn off the hyper boost of the GoPro Hero 8 Black. I'm just shooting with my GoPro now. I hope you can hear me. Not the best microphone in the world for sure, but I forgot to turn the hyper boost off, and I think it just overcompensates, and it's hard to keep the buggy in the center. I hope it's better now without the hyper boost, which is really just for RC filming and mountain biking and all that kind of stuff. But the body is off, and it definitely needs some, I don't know if you can see it, but some dusting off. So it got the original electronics here, the MSC Tamiya, and a typical ACOMS electronic set with the two servos, one for the MSC and one for the steering, and a RX tucked away here without a crystal in it. So I'm pretty excited to see if it actually will work. The ACOMS setup here is very standard here in Denmark. I think 90% of my vintage buys, there's an ACOMS, and I think also in Germany and the UK. But I will keep it original and 1997 6-ish, and I have the other Grasshopper 3 custom build of my Mad Bull with 2.4 gigahertz and electronic speed control of those. So this will just stay as it is. But as you can see, yeah, I have trouble with the shadows right now because it's after work hours and it's still spring, so the sun is very low, and I will not show you much of the actually building. I will show you the different steps, but it's just gonna be too difficult. I only have a tripod with me, and the shadows will be, as you can see, difficult to set up with a tripod here on the table. But I will show you the progress. I will definitely need to change the tires here. So I brought this with me, some white stock spike tires, one pair, hop-up options. I think these are exactly the same. These are the re-release. They also found in the Thundershot, Super Hornet, I think, and the Grasshopper, no, Super Hornet, maybe, and a few other cars. I can't remember which ones. Maybe you can enlighten us all in the comment section. But some new rear tires. And I also brought some bearings. So if I remember correctly, this needs 9 bearings. Maybe 8, I can't remember, but I got 10 here, 1150 bearings, and then it needs 1 here. So I think maybe 9 of these and 1 of these, or maybe 8 of these and 1 of these. These are 850. So I will be changing that and opening the gearbox up. And some grease here, some basic tools over here. And I also brought this one, an old Tamiya Spec GP 27 megahertz. So I hope I can set it up with this. So somewhere I got a complete Tamiya set here, but I also found this just quickly when I was going out the door. So maybe this will be enough, and this is running on the 2 also. So I think it will be fine. So for me it's interesting to see this DT01 in black. If you want to experience a full build experience, I have a DT01 just recorded last year in November, December with the DT01 Mad Bull, and it has a grey chassis where this original fighter buggy actually has a black chassis. So pretty interesting. The Mad Fighter also can be found in versions with the gearbox in transparent and some of the battery retainers in transparent. So it's a pretty diverse plastic material chassis, this DT01. If you're not familiar, it's got the standard DT01 gearbox, just a grasshopper Hornet style beefed up gearbox here, and it got the swing arms here. It got a nice toe in, but it definitely also got some camper issues here. And it's got the brace. It's the only hopper that comes with a brace for the transmission over here. I actually put on, I have a Rising Fighter with the Grasshopper 2 chassis and the DT01 gearbox, and Ampro Engineering actually also make these for the Grasshopper and Hornets. So it will stabilize this and kind of stop the cranking up too much. But yeah, the last of the DT01s, and I will start with the tires, and I will see you in just a second. I got the tires off. As you can see, there's not much thread or spikes left on these, and the new ones out. So I can hold them in one hand here. Definitely a better spiked tire, exactly identical. Of course, these can be the original and these are the re-release, but I don't think there's any way of telling them apart once they're out of the package here. But yeah, there's some residue on these, so I have to, sometimes I got a tip from Mark Bryan to use some WD-40 in a quick manner, but I think this is just easier to get up with some water and soap, which usually takes off the residue from the molding process. So I will do that and let them dry. And the front tires and wheels are in absolutely perfect, not mint condition, but running wise they're perfect condition. These are actually my favorite DT01 tires with the off-road pattern here. They are just outstanding for off-road. These narrow front wheels and provide a lot of grip and steering for the DT series. So if you're not familiar, this DT01, 02, 03 uses standard hex, Now the DT01 has this different one without the pin. It's just a gear or attached, if I can get it off here. No, but it's just attached to directly to the drive shaft here. But standard hex wheels, so pretty much all DT01 wheels can be used on the DT01, 02, 03. Unless you got the Mad Bull, because that has a lot of different wheels. So there's an upright here, there, and wheel shaft for the front that is different on the Mad Bull. But otherwise, you can just swap around as you please. But I will get these cleaned and let them dry in the sun, and I will get moving on to the gearbox. It's attached with these wheel axle stays, so you just need to undo those, and you can undo the springs here, and you can take the whole gearbox out, and I will get it cleaned and I will see you. So yeah, took the gearbox apart, and the gears are in great working order. You can see the residue from the aluminium pinion gear, which I discovered. I forgot to bring a steel pinion. I have plenty of these at home. The DT01, 02, 03 steel pinion gears. So I will probably at some point take this gearbox apart again and get it degreased and clean up the residue from the pinion gear, aluminium pinion gear, and install a new steel pinion. But I didn't bring that, but I luckily had ball bearings enough. So yeah, sorry about this background. I'm borrowing my son's drawing, what's it called, the cover. Yeah, but 5 1150 plastic ball bearings or bushings, and not ball bearings, and 1 brass 850 bushing. So that's the standard in the Hornet and Grasshopper and the DT01 gearbox. Also the lunchbox and Midnight Pumpkin and everything, which uses the Hornet gearbox. But yeah, you need to take this cover off to get inside the spare gear and replace the 1150 and 1 850 here, and then of course 2 1150s and 2 1150s on the shaft here. So I see if I can pop this off. I checked the diff and it's good, and I re-grease it, and I definitely have to go back and open it up and degrease it, because sometimes it's, if you use another type of grease than originally, it can get in contact and produce a mess. But I just use some silicone grease, and hope the former owner also used some Tamiya silicone grease. But everything is running much smoother now without the plastic bushings. And so while the tires are drying, I will get this reassembled, and clean up some parts here for the chassis and get it all fixed down again. So the shadows are getting longer and it's back in order again. Just a side note on the gearbox, remember, it's not obvious, but inside you can actually switch out these pinion gears. The stock is the 17 tooth, and you can switch it out for a 19 tooth if you want some extra top speed, cheap top speed. But if you want the stock settings, I just use the stock, and we'll change it later, maybe to a 19 tooth, I don't know. But remember, these have to be like this, as you can see them there, and you can change them over to a 19 tooth pinion if you want to. But yeah, ball bearings and everything is fixed. Moment of truth. I got my Avanti battery just fits a 3600 milliamp hour 6S 7.2 volt. My transmitter is on, and I'll turn on the car and keep my fingers crossed. So let's see if the steering servo works, and it does. So that's just a big bonus. Let's see if the MSC and throttle servo works. Motor is spinning, axles are spinning, and this servo and MSC are turning. So doesn't really need much more than that. I will get the wheels off, and just wrap this video off. So yeah, that's it. I might do a full restoration on this at some point, which requires a lot of body work and maybe even taking it apart and cleaning it up and getting it all up and running and shining again. But at least it's running again, not shining. But I know there's ball bearings, and I know the screws are in the correct place, and the tires are all fixed. These actually cleaned up very nice just with some soap and water. And I think I'll have a sip of this Nordic Pilsner. It's an alcohol free. So Pete, if you're watching, how do you like this? I'll just taste it. It's actually quite good. Very nice, actually. But yeah, the sun is setting in a moment, or going down behind the trees at least. So I hope you enjoyed this long video. Those of you who watch it, check out my main RC channel and subscribe to both channels. Lots of shorter videos and more thorough and decent restorations on my other channel. I'm rebuilding a Wild Dagger at the moment, taking everything apart and upgrading some things and modernizing it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to running this. Maybe it will pop up on my channel before I get the body up or the driver painted, or maybe I'll just show you it running as it is. I think I'll run just a few moments up and down the terrace here without full speed and destroying the new tires. And I will hope you are having a great day, and I will see you in another video. Take care, keep them running, and happy days. Thank you.